Alright, this is Andrew Jolly with Jordan Home Inspections. We're here today at 873 West, 600 South in Salt Lake City. It is January 15th. Doing a sewer scope. And we've got the camera pushed out as far as we can get it. We're 112 feet out, which should be showing us the majority of the line. Average line's about 100 feet out. We had to go through a couple tight bends on this one and some turns, and so that makes it so that we can't push our camera any further. You'll see there's going to be a bend as soon as I start pulling it back, and once I went through that one, even running water, I couldn't get it to go out any further. So there is part of the line that we're not able to see. Right off the bat, there's a little bit of standing water. It's been going down as I have had the water off. But it's not a great sign when it's holding water like that. That means that it doesn't have great slope. You want the grade to slope towards the city connection so that everything will just drain naturally on its own. That was the bend I was talking about. Once I went through that turn, I wasn't able to get any further. We're going to pull it back now and see what else we find. Looks like this is clay line. If you look at the bottom left part of the pipe, you can see how it's kind of a rust color, or like terracotta. Also, there's several joints on it, every 3 or 4 feet, which is another indication that it's clay. This is looking good. Not seeing any roots, no standing water. So right here, this is looking good, the way that it should. I haven't seen any separated joints so far. That's another issue that you can have with clay. So this is probably somewhere around the foundation. Generally, you'll have cast iron under the house, with this age of a house, cast iron under the house, and then it'll transition to clay somewhere around the foundation. I'm finding here that you have, well, a couple things. For one, you have a toy caught in the line. And the other thing is I'm not positive what this other part of the line is coming from the left-hand side of the screen. So I don't know if this is under the house and there's another drain that goes into it, or I don't think it'd be a vent, but I don't know if that's another drain or what's going on there. The other thing is you do have a toy in the line, and that's something that can get caught, that can catch debris on it. And that's not good either, because if you have things that start to get caught on that piece of plastic, it can create a backup. Ideally, you want to have that cleaned out. Maybe they can a drain company could probably hydrojet it out. But there's a good chance it's been there for a long time, and if you ignore it, things could just continue to go on past it. So this is cast iron now. The issue with cast iron is you'll get rust on it, and it'll build up and get very rough, and can catch on things, and then over time it'll flake, and the pipe gets thinner and thinner until it eventually needs to be replaced. This one's looking pretty good, especially being from the 50s. But in some cases it can be deceiving, because we're only seeing the intersection of pipe. We can't see how thick it actually is. Alright, now I think we're coming up the roof stack. I accessed this today through a vent on the roof. Overall, pretty good looking line. There are a couple question marks. You know, we're not able to see the entire line after we went through that turn. I didn't see a clean out. A lot of times you'll have another access point in the yard, and if you do, I would have tried going through there, and then I would have most likely been able to push it out further. But you don't have one of those here. You do have that toy caught in the line, and that is something that could cause problems down the road. And then a tiny bit of standing water, but definitely not the worst that I've seen. So I'm going to end this recording now.